Ryomen Sukuna's ending actually means way more than what it's simply shown to us. There not only wasn't any form of character assassination, but it also allowed us to go deeper into Sukuna's character, and this was only done with a couple words which I find to be beautiful. Jujutsu Kaisen has now come to an end, and I think it is safe for me to say that I didn't really enjoy the ending, but the simple 3 pages of Sukuna discussing with Mahito actually did a lot for me, and in this video I wanna talk about what makes his character and his ending so beautiful. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Before even watching the video, let me know in the comments how you personally felt about the ending. Thanks for all of the support you sent my way, and let's get into it. This all starts with Sukuna running into Mahito on his way to the afterlife. Mahito being some sort of guardian of the soul, or being the mirror of death as he was introduced before. He asked Sukuna if he was lying the whole time. Sukuna always preached that he did everything simply because he wanted to, but Mahito asked him if he wasn't all because of revenge, if he didn't just want to cause pain because of how he was persecuted and resented, literally pointing out that Sukuna has been lying to himself and to everybody. Sukuna doesn't deny anything, but simply replies that there isn't any difference. It all boils down to the only way he ever knew how to live. He then comes to the realization that he had another option. He was fighting his own curses, he was fighting his own demons, but in the end he chose to curse everything, he chose to destroy everything. It all ends with Sukuna saying that if he was to choose again, it wouldn't be so bad to go the other way, basically meaning becoming a good guy. Mahito doesn't understand, he calls it boring and tells Sukuna that he have gone soft, so which Sukuna simply replies, I lost after all. These 3 pages give us so many crucial answers, starting with the difference between Sukuna and Mahito. For the longest we had come to the conclusion that Mahito and Sukuna had the exact same mindset. This right here tells us otherwise, and this doesn't assassinate Sukuna's character in any way. Those 2 characters were presented to us as 2 characters who believe in nothing but strength and destruction, but the key difference came from how they approached that philosophy. Mahito was never ready to be proven wrong. Mahito simply believed in his mindset and was going to try as hard as he could to do whatever he wanted to do. Sukuna on the other hand always had respect for strength. The reason why nobody could prove Sukuna wrong wasn't because he refused to listen, but because nobody was able to prove him wrong, which is why they had 2 completely different reactions when losing. Mahito was terrified once he saw that Yuji was going to kill him, and until the very end he didn't realize anything. He simply wanted to be right. In comparison to Sukuna, Mahito simply feels like a child, which he was. Sukuna didn't necessarily want to be right, he was simply going by the mindset that he thought was right, which is why he didn't lose any composure even in defeat. He accepted that he was defeated, and that's where it stops. And when they both see each other in the afterlife, Mahito is the only one worried about that perception, calling Sukuna soft, saying that he isn't what he used to be, and Sukuna simply saying that he lost. Sukuna was always right and always proved other people wrong through defeating them. Sukuna being defeated means that he was proven wrong. If we go back to the culling games, we get to see Sukuna say something very interesting. It was during his previous battle against Yuji. Yuji being so enraged asked Sukuna what is his problem. Why do people like him enjoy creating carnage everywhere? Which Sukuna simply tells Yuji what is his problem. What makes him feel like he got the right to question Sukuna? What part of him tells him that a person as weak as him gets to tell him what to do? This is where you realize that Sukuna never went against Yuji's argument. Sukuna never said anything about him wanting to destroy stuff. What he believed in was strength. He was right because he was strong. And the reason why he hated Yuji is because Yuji wasn't strong enough to defend his ideology. Sukuna took a liking to characters like Gojo and Kashimo because even though they didn't believe the same things as him, they were strong. Sukuna was actually happy to be entertained. Aside from strong people, everybody else is just an insect. But Yuji is that insect that tries so hard to stand up to him, and Sukuna doesn't understand that. Simply brushing him off is not enough. Sukuna tried to prove him wrong and told him again that he isn't strong enough or interesting in any way. Sukuna didn't despise Yuji simply because they had different philosophies. It is because Yuji was never somebody he had respect for. But upon being defeated, despite everybody that was needed, despite every favorable circumstances they had, Sukuna never made any excuses. He only knows one thing, and is that he lost. In the world of jujutsu, winning means being strong. In Sukuna's mind, winning means being strong. Losing this battle simply means that they were stronger than him, strong enough for him to finally understand the other perspective. It doesn't assassinate him, it simply brings more depth to him, as it all makes sense and goes hand in hand with what he's always been preaching. Another interesting theory I've seen is that Sukuna was cursed. A perfect explanation for Sukuna's change of mind will be Yuji cursing him. As we remember, during the battle, Yuji tried to take Sukuna around and show him his past, basically a way to show Sukuna the beautiful things in life, pitying him and trying to get him to understand things before he has to kill him. Sukuna Sukuna decided to go against it. But even in the very end, Yuji had a wish. Yuji simply asked Sukuna to start over, instead of continuing to curse each other for eternity. As we know, a curse can be created by a strong wish at the moment of death, sort of like how things went with Yuta and Rika. Yuta not being able to accept her death, cursed her and turned her into a vengeful curse spirit. Now that's not to say that Sukuna is coming back. What if Yuji's final wish for Sukuna to come back to him and actually doing things differently was the reason why Sukuna is currently thinking this? It would sort of be the same thing as Goku wishing for Buu to come back as a good person in Dragon Ball. And that is something I personally like. But this all goes further as he fully completes the parallel between Sukuna and Gojo. When Gojo was dying, he had Nanami telling him that he lied to everybody, kind of like the same thing Mahito was telling the Sukuna. This obviously serves as a way for both of them to realize that they haven't been completely honest with themselves. The way they both didn't deny it but didn't outright accept it. In Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 236, we were introduced to a certain concept. The concept of going north or going south. Going south meaning staying the same person, and going north meaning being born anew as a completely different person. And this is something that everybody assumed would be for Gojo's character. But when you really think about it, Gojo did not need a change of mind. Despite how dead he was inside, Gojo did everything. He fought so he could protect his students. He fought so he could prevent his students from ever having to worry about the issues he had to worry about. And despite his main reason for fighting Sukuna being extremely selfish, he still fought to give a chance to his students to save themselves. There realistically wasn't a reason for Gojo to ever change his mindset. Gojo died as a respectable man. He died as who he wanted to be. He died as somebody who paved the way for his students, the only thing he ever wanted to do. The person who truly needed a change of mind was Sukuna. Introducing that whole concept at the moment of Gojo's death by the hands of Sukuna in order to use it on Sukuna's character is what I feel like is a brilliant idea. As characters like Gojo, Kashimo and Yorozu showed us before, there was always something inconsistent about Sukuna's feelings. Sukuna always pretends to know about love and not have a single care for it, but Yorozu kept bringing that up and she kept talking about it. Words that stayed in Sukuna's mind despite him always saying that he never cared. Kashimo asked Sukuna, doesn't your way of thinking get boring? Listening to Sukuna only saying that he does what he wants when he wants to and that's all there is to it. Kashimo felt like that is a feeling that gets old, which is why he had to point it out. And in Gojo's case, you could see a lot more emotions from Sukuna. Him remembering Yorozu's word in the battle against Gojo, or even at the very end giving Gojo the ultimate respect. There was plenty of characters before who always tried to show us that there was something wrong with the way Sukuna was doing things. And him only now having this change of mind is kind of confirming that to us. It's kind of confirming that there is some form of doubt. But the only way for him to actually explore or think about these ideas was through being defeated. And now that it finally happened, he actually gets to do so. As he was walking away with Urami, Sukuna looked so relieved. Felt completely different from the Sukuna that we usually know, because he finally got to forget about his trouble. Trouble that he could only understand through defeat. My final point is Urame finally smiling. The first time we ever see Urame have a genuine smile of happiness on her face is when Sukuna is defeated. Almost like she understood what he was going through and that he finally got to experience defeat because she knows her master obtained what he wanted. That smile alone should have been a sign that there was more to Sukuna's character that we could see then. And today's chapter simply answers all of those questions in only 3 pages. If you made it to this point, let me know your opinion about Sukuna's character ending down below, because you're the one I really want to hear from. If you found yourself enjoying this video at any point, don't forget to leave a like. And if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more on the channel, don't forget to subscribe to me, as it would help me out a lot. I appreciate every single one of y'all for all the support you give me, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.